Now, let's bring in Oliver Thomas. He is a New Orleans City Councilor. Councilor Thomas, thank you so much for taking the time today. My condolences first off to you and everyone in your community for what has happened. Our hearts are with you. I can only imagine what is going through your hearts and minds right now on, as I mentioned, you know, a day like New Year's, which is supposed to bring new hope, fresh perspectives, and something like this happens. How is your community coping this morning?
I mean, we're in prayer for the victims and the families. I think there have been 10 confirmed that have lost their lives. So our hearts and prayers go out to those victims and their families. And for the survivors, we're in prayer. We're extremely concerned about their recovery. Been at the emergency room the last 3 hours with victims, with the law enforcement officials or police officers who are there in recovery right now. And I think I can say that they seem to be in stable condition. The other victims that were brought to the UMC are in stable condition. And a major shout out to the medical staff there at University Hospital, man. They have been on point, providing the very best care. And currently, the New Orleans Health Department is establishing a family unification center there for folk who may not know or who may be getting information late and finding out about victims and loved ones. The health department is going to be manning that unification center, so you can go find out the condition of your loved one and unify with family. So, gosh, we're just in the midst of recovery from this evil, chaotic event right now.
And having been in the emergency room with families affected by this all morning, can you tell me a little bit about how they're doing, the strength that they're showing? Are we oftentimes in situations like this, when we report on them, we see communities come together, provide each other strength. I know we're talking a matter of hours at this point, but are you already seeing some of that?
Yeah, we really are. I mean, unfortunately, New Orleans and in the world we live in today, you know, this type of tragedy isn't new to us. But one of the most heartwarming moments that I got in the last few hours in the emergency room was fellow officers coming in to check on the two officers who were involved in the gun battle and who were involved in neutralizing the perpetrator who sustained some injuries. And it was to talk to the young lady with the young man, I'm not going to say his name because I know him, I was there with his dad and his family, that she went through the academy with him. And to have her cheer up, coming check on someone she graduated the police academy with, trying to find out the condition of his condition and the condition of the other officer, who when I left, he was actually resting and sleeping. So, I mean, that's all part of it, as well as the cause of concern of the family members who don't know, especially since the police officers and quite a few of the victims are actually from here.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you, you know, as much as there's that sense of strength and bonding in tragedy like this, there's still, I'm sure, a lot of hesitation amongst members of your community in terms of going out tonight, trying to, you know, show a brave face, I'm sure, but it's got to be hard in a situation like this. Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick mentioned earlier that with the Sugar Bowl in town, she wanted people to get out, continue to enjoy the city. It's got to be a hard balance for people to strike, though. Do you think people will be able to enjoy the city a day after, hours after what happened this morning?
You know, that's a really profound and important point. This is an attack on our country, our freedom, our way of life. Bourbon Street is one of the most iconic streets in the world. New Orleans, this little glorious, grimy little wonderful town here, is one of the most visited places per capita in the world, given our size as a small city. We cannot let this stop us from celebrating our freedoms, celebrating our events. But there is cause for concern, where how do we begin to police and protect us in the world and the environment we live today with evil people who don't care that you have 300 officers in an area, who are hell-bent on causing destruction and evil for whatever their cause, or for whatever their mission. We're going to have to begin to reassess that. You know, what can we do? In some cases, you can't do anything. But what can we do to at least so people can at least feel safer? Especially, we don't want to shut down our economy. We don't want to shut down these events that we celebrate every year, but something, we're going to have to do something different, especially given the world we're in today. How do we keep people safe? How do we still enjoy ourselves? Those things seem to be threatened by some very evil people that are hell-bent on destruction.
Well said, Councillor Thomas. Stay strong. Thank you very much for your time today. My condolences again to you and your city, and we hope to sort of keep in touch with you as well and stay up to date on this. Oliver Thomas, New Orleans City Councillor. Thank you, sir.
God bless you. Thank you all for caring about us.